no secret that an overwhelming majority find Mass Effect's ending disappointing or worse. The social forums are ablaze, with BioWare PR doing its best to put out the fires, biding time and hoping that the situation blows over. Fan petitions have started, entire campaigns like Retake Mass Effect have launched, some even earning money to donate to charity along the way. And if you analyze the ending yourself, really give it more thought, it's easy to see why so many have reacted in this way. And if you don't, this list should help you understand just a little bit more. It's as if a completely different writing team developed the ending, or somebody took it upon themselves to select the best ending for Electronic Arts, DLC interests, future content, and what their own personal vision was for the game. Unfortunately, whoever it was either failed to understand key themes in the series, or just wasn't edited or double-checked. How else could there be so many plot holes and contradictions in just a 10-minute span, unraveling over 90 hours of previous gameplay and loving work from hundreds of developers? Reason number 1. Plot hole number 1, the Normandy. One thing that really bothered me is why on earth the Normandy is shown scrambling to escape a relay explosion. What? How? I thought Joker was partaking in the final battle. You mean to say that Joker just chickens out, turns coward, and runs while the rest of the Victory Fleet gets blasted into Kingdom Come? There is no f***ing way Joker would leave. Shepard has said 1,000,000 times how this is it and there's no turning back. Everyone knows what's at stake here.
Be careful down there.
We'll be fine. Stay focused.
Aye, aye.
So what is Joker doing out of the Sol system? Because BioWare wanted to force the Normandy to crash land conveniently on an Earth-like jungle planet to make their damn Adam and Eve illusion, in the synthetic ending anyway, but in order to do it, they had to break Joker and everyone else still on the ship and create a massive plot hole. No, I don't buy that anybody on that ship would just leave Shepard behind and everybody who was fighting for the fate of the galaxy. That doesn't make sense. Reason number 2. Plot hole number 2. Teleporters? Perhaps the biggest evidence of a rushed, nonsensical ending is how when Joker gets out of the crashed and stranded Normandy, I see Liara follow him out in one ending. She was just with me on the ground on Earth. How is she magically teleported to the Normandy? Some players have reported that in endings, team members will show up on the crash-landed Normandy. How the hell did they get there? So you're saying Joker had time to rescue your squad, then chicken out. There's no way the rest of the squad would allow him to just leave Shepard behind like that. It's worse when your love interest ends up getting out of the ship with Joker. So you spend 2 or 3 games fostering this relationship, and then BioWare just turns around and stabs you in the back. Nice. She doesn't stay back on Earth and mourn your body, your death, your loss, your empty grave, or stay for your funeral. No, instead, your love interest ends up in bed with Joker in order to repopulate a new planet. Enjoy. Reason number 3. Plot hole number 3. Destruction of the mass relays. In all the endings, no matter what you pick, the mass relays will be destroyed. And it's already been established in the Arrival DLC, the destruction of a mass relay will completely obliterate a solar system. And from what we see on the galaxy map, Shepard conceivably would have killed far more billions of souls in a matter of seconds that even the Reapers themselves could have. And before you tell me that it's a different kind of explosion, maybe, but it wouldn't change the fact that everyone is still screwed. Reason number 4. Plot hole number 4, the Victory Fleet. So with the mass relays gone, did BioWare forget that everyone is now stranded where they are at that single moment, including the Victory Fleet, with thousands of ships and hundreds of different races? All of them are now orbiting a completely devastated and ruined Earth that might not even be able to support its own people.
Guess you'll be needing a new planet too. That's okay. Tuchanka's got room to spare, and a guard dog named Kalros.
Much less everyone else in the galaxy. And Quarians and Turians can't even eat human food anyway. So after the fleet's supplies run out, does everyone just starve to death? Entire races were in that battle, like the Quarian flotilla. They're just gonna die out and go extinct. So much for bringing everyone together. They're probably about to rip each other's throats out in this massive doomsday holocaust terrible nightmare scenario. Reason number 5. War assets. We collected all those war assets for what? I think we all expected the final battle to be far more similar to Mass Effect 2's suicide mission, only this was going to be a suicide mission involving the entire galaxy. So many of us logically thought that the war assets we had collected, the hours of multiplayer horde mode played, and the relationships that we repaired over the course of the game would have impact and be shown during the takeback of Earth. Bands of Krogans charging Reapers, L-Core living tanks, Batarian ships, the Rachni Queen and her hive attacking Reapers head-on, mercenary fleets willing to do whatever it took ramming Reapers with their ships. Instead, the actual battle plays out exactly the same, both in space and down on Earth, with humans in London looking at multicolored explosions. So much for the wildly different endings promise. Reason number 6. No closure. Mass Effect 3 players deserved more than a prompt urging them to buy more content. They deserved more than some insulting scene where a grandpa tells a story to a child and refers to our hero as the Shepherd. We all wanted to see what happened to the people who we cared about for 5 years. The fact that there's no closure for any of the relationships besides Joker and Edie over the past 3 games is insulting. Does the Victory Fleet and the several minor races that went all in starve and go extinct? We don't know. In fact, there's no scenes of what happens to the rest of your friends. Not only is there no scenes of what happens to the rest of your friends, but this current ending completely undoes some of them. Will Rex be on Tuchanka telling stories of his heroics with Shepard, meaning hero?
The name Shepard will mean hero. Now, let's show them why.
Nope, he's stranded in the Sol system. Settling down with Tali on her homeworld and rebuilding it?
Whenever you need me.
Nope, you're dead and she's stranded. We're not all asking for what some people call the Star Wars medal ceremony. We would be fine if it was a bittersweet view of all that we lost, but also of all that we still had. And you know what? Why the fuck not a happy ending too? Reason number 7. Now, I want to be clear about this point. We aren't upset simply because there's no happy ending. There are 9 other better reasons on this list. We are simply upset because after all that hard work, we aren't even given the option no matter what we did. Did this story not deserve a happy ending? Why did developers feel the need to buck the trend and do a twist ending? Isn't that actually the new trend?
Wake up.
If anything, buck that shit. Over 3 games, you develop this attachment to the characters, and ultimately, there is no payoff. Why can't we see Jack with her students, or Tally on her homeworld that I spent 5 hours saving for her, or Miranda with her sister, Laria doing shadow broker things?
You're not going to propose marriage now, are you?
Yeah, it may have been corny to sit on a beach with Garrus having a few cold brewskis as the camera pans out to show the flaming wreckage of a few dozen Reaper Hulks in the water, but damn it, I think we earned something similar to that.
No, I think we're about to kick the Reapers back into whatever black hole they crawled out of. Then we're going to retire somewhere warm and tropical and live off the royalties from the vids. Meet me at the bar. I'm buying.
Reason number 8. Everything after the Harbinger's beam. After you are hit with the Harbinger's beam, things go completely off the rails. Now, it doesn't bother me that Anderson beats you to the control panel, or that the elusive man somehow ends up on the Citadel. Those were both good parts. Better if it was possible to convince the elusive man to actually stand down or even help you. No. Instead, my beef is with the ultimate villain, this Godchild. Seriously, I hate it when I'm introduced to a completely new character in the last few seconds of a story. It's cheap, especially if it's poorly done, which it is here. First, he obliterates and cheapens the mystery and allure of the Reapers by saying he's the one that created them. Not only did he single-handedly create them, but his reason for doing so is completely bonkers. It uses circular logic.
The created will always rebel against their creators.
You are welcome to return to Rannoch Admiral with us.
But we found a way to stop that from happening. A way to restore order for the next cycle. Without us to stop it, synthetics would destroy all organics.
You are welcome to return to Rannoch Admiral with us.
We've created the cycle so that never happens. That's the solution.
So he creates the Reapers, which are synthetics who harvest organics to create themselves synthetics so that they can kill organics every 50,000 years so that the organics won't be killed by different synthetics? What? That is bullshit. Same with the choices that he gives you, or rather, the choice he doesn't give you. Reason number 9. Shepard's acceptance of the Godchild's bullshit. I'm more angry at Shepard, who has defied all odds for 3 games, and in the most pivotal moment, he doesn't even have an option to simply reject the assertion that synthetics and organics will always be at war, even though he himself just put an end to the Geth-Quarian War.
You have choice, more than you know.
I was just waiting for a renegade interrupt option where I can fire a bullet right through the kid's skull. My Shepard would have never accepted this destiny. All these years, Shepard has fought for self-determination with the Reaper threat and the demise of organic life being supposedly inevitable. But now, at the moment of truth, Shepard just gives in and accepts this logic despite the overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Jeff was the one who allowed me to think for myself. But only now do I feel alive. That is your influence.
Thanks, Edie.
No, I'm sorry. For the first time ever in this series, Shepard is unable to just reject and challenge this wild assertion, even though it's clearly wrong. That is extremely out of place. Reason number 10. The most important reason, though, is how the creators forgot the most important aspect of the story in Mass Effect. That was player choice. Your choices ultimately don't matter. We get 3 identical endings that use 98% of the same assets with maybe 2% differences. multicolored explosions highlighting your choices. Other games have done completely different endings, even different CGI sequences for those endings. And even if you can't think of any that have, why couldn't Mass Effect 3 be the first? Did they just not want to put in the work? Were they rushed? I don't know. But what's there is disappointing. Control, blue-colored explosion, Shepard dies, mass relays destroyed, Normandy crashes. Destroy, red-colored explosion, Shepard dies, mass relays destroyed, Normandy crashes. Synthesis, green color explosions, Shepard dies, mass relays destroyed, Normandy crashes. If you get your EMS to the maximum settings, full preparations, you get the same as above, but Shepard takes a gasping breath at the last second. All of these throw out anything that you've done. Hell, the supposed best ending, the Synthesis green one, also happens to do the franchise the most injustice. That option is counter to everything we've been fighting for. Nearly the entire game has been unification of diverse peoples for a purpose. And how their diversity is extremely important. Even the Prothean at one point says that his race fell because they were way too homogenized, and that made them static and unable to be flexible and come up with new strategies, so they lost to the Reapers. Synthesis says that the only way to have peace is to remove diversity. No! That's stupid and completely counter to the rest of the Mass Effect series. It's so blatantly obvious that BioWare is completely ripping off the Deus Ex 1 endings and trying to cram them where they don't fit. They almost mirror each other, word for word, idea for idea. And even if this AI is right, who the hell is he to force Shepard into just these 3 decisions? So where's the option to tell him to screw off, take his Reapers, and get the f*** out of here? Leave the mass relays alone. And if the child resists, then say no. We will sit here until my force does the best that they possibly can, because this is how they would want it to end. Giving it everything they got, and then watch as all of your war assets gets thrown against the Reapers for a final conclusion, as you and the Godchild look on. But no, it doesn't matter with these 3 endings because there's no difference. Green, blue, or red. Which color do you prefer? That's your ending. They promised this specific thing would not happen. Wildly different endings. Things would be explained. Things would resolve itself, maybe not in a happy way, but in a final and gratifying way. And that is not what happened.
There will be a tomorrow.
Only if we win today.